Hi everyone, my name is Prabhat. In this video, I am going to talk about scalability in system design. Scalability is an ability to handle more users, more data, more transactions without affecting the user experience. In this video, I am going to talk more in details why scalability is needed and what are the different ways to achieve the scalability. So here we have developed a simple e-commerce application. This e-commerce application name is testecommerce.com. This application is similar to Flipkart or Amazon, but this is very simple application and we posted only laptop as a product in this e-commerce application at this moment. So there are number of users who want to access these applications. So initially they will connect to that domain name server to get the IP address of this system, and then they can connect to this application. Once the users able to connect to the application, they will create the user profile in this application, and then they will start searching the laptop, and if they like it, they can add that laptop into the cart. Then they can make the payment. Once the payment done, then they will get the acknowledgement of booking of this laptop. So this slowly this users base is growing, and each user, since the user base is growing, each user create additional load on this server, and also server need resource in order to process these many requests, because for each user who are booking any laptop, then we need to handle so many, we need to make so many DB calls in order to whether the order is success or failure, or they need to check that gate calls whether this laptop is available on this. So there are so many things happening in this system. So each user create an additional load on this server. And also we started with laptops. So later we may be adding some other product related to sports, right? We may be adding some related to kitchen appliances and so many things. Slowly we will be keep on adding the different product. Also user base will be keep on growing because there are so many product available in this e-commerce site. So since there are so many product is getting added, and also we may be so initially we start with the users, product and order. So later we may be adding review systems or some maybe adding some recommendation related features. So those functionality also put more overhead in this system. So this system will be we might be respond slowly to the users, and at some point of time this system might stop responding because of the loads and it may crash. So in order to handle more users, more transactions, we may go with the scaling. So we must decide at some point of time how to scale this application. So there are two types of scalability. One is the vertical scalability and the second one is the horizontal scalability. So let us talk vertical scalability first. In case of vertical scalability, we can scale our system vertically where we just need to upgrade the hardwares. So for example, if this system is running with 8 GB of the RAM, we can upgrade this into the 16 GB or 32 GB or 64 GB based on our requirement. Similarly, we can upgrade the CPU and other hardwares. So this is really good solution for the short term of scalability, and it's really good for a small web application where data is not growing exponentially, and this system will be more consistent because this is we are dealing with the single system. So data will be more consistent, and this will be more faster because all the services are in the single system. So there are inter-process communication happening between the services. So in here, if application want to connect to DB, both are in the same system. So there is no remote procedure calls happening. So all the calls will be faster. So this system comes with the serious limitations. The first limitation is single point of failure. If this application goes down, all the users who are accessing this application will not be able to access this application. So for example, if some sales is going on so and so date, and these many users were waiting for that sales to be happen, and when they log in on that day and then suddenly the system get crashed, this user will not be happy with this kind of system. This is one of the biggest limitation with the vertical scalability. The second limitation is expensive. Scaling system vertically is more expensive. If you upgrade the RAM from 8 GB to 16 GB or 32 GB, then it's fine. The cost might be double than 8 GB. But if you want to upgrade this RAM from 64 GB to 128 GB, or so the cost will be more than double of this. And if you upgrade from 128 to 256, the cost will be almost 10 times or more than that. So this solution will be very expensive. Similar apply for the CPU and other hardwares. So the third problem could be with this solution is like hard stop. So no matter how much money you are willing to pay, at some point of time you are unable to upgrade the RAM size or CPU size, or even your operating system will not allow you to scale after certain limits. So this solution has hard stop, and at some point of time will not have any options to scale your applications. So since these are the serious limitations, and due to that we are unable to scale our application. Then if this application is growing exponentially, then in that case we have to go with the horizontal scaling. So let's understand the horizontal scaling. So in case of horizontal scalability, instead of having load on one server, which we saw in the case of vertical scalability, we can distribute the load among the different servers. So since this user are accessing the e-commerce application, they can access any of the server. So we can use many techniques to distribute the load among the server. We can use the round robin fashions through which DNS server will provide the IP address of each of the servers, through which it can distribute the load equally, or we can use the load balancer to distribute the load among the different server. So this load balancer will take care of distributing the load among the different server. In this case, if the loads is getting increased because your system is handling million or billion of users, so sometime in the peak time the load may get increased. So in that case we can add the new system, and the load can be distributed on this system as well. So the similar logic can be applied on the database layer, where we can partition the data based on some logic to divide the data on the different database. This is the best way to scale our application, and using this we can handle million or billion of users. So with these solutions, whatever the problems we faced when we scale our system vertically, like we found a single point of failure and it was very expensive and there was a hard stop for that solution. So with this solution we can overcome all those problems. So in this case, since the load of this users are distributed among the different server, so in case if this server goes down, then the load balancers will detect the node, and this load balancer will distribute the load on the different server. So user will not experience any issue if any node goes down. So the system will be highly available. The second benefit with this solution is, initially it costs more and we need to be careful when we design our system, and it requires a lot of development effort when we build the application. But once we build this application, so this solution could be cheaper than vertical scalability solutions. So in case if we want to draw in the diagram, when we talk about vertical scalability, initially it should be price will go like this, then again it go like this. But in case of vertical scalability, it costs more in the beginning, but since the user are in million or billions, and in that case this system will be very handy. And here these are not a very powerful server, these are the normal server. So in case like what we discussed in the vertical scalability, where the servers are very powerful, but these are very simple server, and in this case the cost will go like this. So this is for horizontal and this is for verticals. This way we measure the cost of horizontal scalable solution and vertical scalable solutions. So this will be cost effective. And the third one is there is no hard stop. Suddenly the user base is growing, we can add another server. And just redirect the load among that server. So we can keep on adding, keep on removing based on the demand. But in the case of vertical, we know we have limit, but in this case there is no limit, and the same apply on the database, where we can using the logic we can partition the data among the different database. So there is no hard stop. There are some limitation with this solution also. The first problem could be the data inconsistency, because there are so many users accessing the data through different servers. So we need so there might be chance of data inconsistency is the in this case. In the vertical solutions there was no issue with the data consistency, because all the calls was going through single machine, but here we have multiple machine, so there is a chance of data inconsistency. The second problem should be here lot of network call, because this is, for example, this is a web server. We need to call the database located on maybe some other locations or other places. So in that case there are network call which we will be making from when services want to communicate with each other. So here remote procedure calls comes into the picture. So the network call might slow your system. This horizontal scalability is not easy to achieve in practical. Even though the theoretical it looks very simple, but practically it's very difficult to achieve. And we have to decide this horizontal scaling in the beginning when you are developing your web application. So these are the things I wanted to discuss. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.